TGIF Fumble fam, welcome back to the Fumble Live. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Man, it has been a long week and we have one more show till we're into the weekend. Today we're going to be talking about how Dame Lillard was snubbed, and I can't wait to hear what Jackie thinks about that. We're also talking about how Charles Barkley responded to that rant that Draymond Green gave. We've talked about that throughout the week. He's kind of telling Draymond to say less, and I don't necessarily agree with him. But before we do all that, make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. And here's the Fumble Squad. It is still just the two of us. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
Happy Friday, you guys. We made it to the end of the week. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram right now because I'm back in Twitter jail. So just Instagram @JRayTheFanatic. I cannot stay out of Twitter jail. It is getting ridiculous. I feel like I'm just being censored.
This time, Jackie? What happened? Stupid tweets that I was putting up, so I just privatized my whole account. I've never been in Twitter jail, but that's because I don't even use Twitter. So Jackie, before we jump into the news, I want to hear what you have going on for the weekend. Anything special planned, or are you just chilling out?
I don't know. I usually, I have like a 2-week cycle. I do my hair every 2 weeks, and it's been like a month. I haven't done anything to it because I've been lazy. I don't know if I'm going to stay on my lazy train or do my hair. All signs right now point to lazy train, but I don't know. We'll just have to see on Monday. I just really I have not done anything outside of sports. I've taken on so many other adventures, like other podcasts. So all I've done is talked about sports for like the last month, which is great. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but I kind of want to just sit down and get some wine and just watch Netflix, like some random sci-fi show on Netflix for the whole weekend.
You should do it then. You deserve it. I know you've been talking about sports, not only just here, but outside of this job. So you are like constantly consumed with sports. And then also, as for your hair, Jackie, you are one person I know that can pull off an updo, the down hair, letting your hair down. You rock anything. So even if you decide to not change it at all and stay on the lazy train, it still looks amazing. So good for you.
Thanks.
I don't have... You're welcome. I don't have that versatility with my hair. That's why it stays the same every single day. Let's talk about Dame, okay? I want to get into this. So the All-Star game is set to go down in just a couple weeks now, much to the dismay of players across the league. We've had so many athletes be outspoken about how they wish it wasn't happening, but it is still happening. And there are obviously many amazing players in the league that deserve a spot on the All-Star team, a starting spot, and Dame Lillard is one of them. Dame is having a ridiculous year. This is a career season for him. He's averaging 29.8 points, 7.7 assists, and 4.4 rebounds per game. And a lot of people thought that this would be the year that Dame was going to get that starting spot on an All-Star team lineup, but he didn't. So the starters for each team were announced, and for the Western Conference, we have Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Nikola Jokic. There was apparently a tie between Luka and Dame, but fan votes, which are weighted more heavily than the other votes, ended up giving Luka the edge. So Dame will be participating in the three-point contest. He'll likely earn a reserve role, but I feel like this has to be frustrating for him. I'm sure he was thinking that he deserves the starting spot. Maybe he doesn't care because the All-Star game this year just doesn't seem as exciting for pretty much anybody, except for maybe the club promoters in Atlanta, which I know we're talking about later on in the show. But it's just, he's a top talent in the league, and it is kind of weird to see him be snubbed like this. So let's talk about this. A lot of people were tweeting things like, someone said, what type of garbage is this? NBA, 50% is fan voting. For what reason? Dame Lillard is going to be in the All-Star game regardless, but he should be starting. End of story. Another person said, the complete and utter disrespect to Dame Lillard has got to stop. This man, without question, should be a starter in the All-Star game. I'm heated. A lot of people are really upset because side by side, Dame is just having a better year than Luka is. Like I said, this is a career year for him, a career season. So the one good thing that we can take away from all of this is that Dame does seem to have a lot of extra fire, passion, and motivation whenever he is snubbed or whenever someone trash talks him. So I think what we can expect from this is that we're going to get like aggressive Dame, and I know we love that over here at the Fumble. So Jackie, let's talk about this. Do you feel like with this kind of scenario, this is a reason why we shouldn't be giving fan votes so much weight? Because fans can go in and vote as many times as they want. So does that create an unfair advantage?
That's a good question, because then who would you leave the votes to? Would you leave it to the media? Because we know the media is not, they're completely biased. There's, especially if you are a reporter, a lot of these reporters, they have specific teams that they follow, and that's their job. They are a Laker reporter, they're whatever. So, and we know, I mean, we're going to get into in a second, Charles Barkley and Shaq are notoriously biased. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, like who, if we don't leave it to the fans, who do we leave it to? This one really was tough for me because, I've been calling Luka the baby goat for a minute. But with me saying that and with me enthusiastically looking forward to, Dame is out here doing a lot. They're in 4th place and he's been doing it pretty much by himself for a second. And the thing is like the stat that Luka really does have Dame beat in is rebounds, but he's also 6'7", and Dame is 6'2", so it's a little bit different. Luka, and they're both point guards. I don't really expect a point guard to get that many rebounds. The only other point guard that has more rebounds than Luka is Russell Westbrook. But I just don't, like you said, when you pound for pound, when you add them up, Dame is 6'2", Luka's 6'7". He's a bigger dude. It's just that Dame's game is just more, it's faster pace. He's more versatile. He's more athletic. And as much as I love Luka, I have to be honest, he's not the most athletic person. He relies solely on his size. And I'm not mad at that. Go with what works for you. But when you see this guy out here and Damian Lillard, who can go out here and do every single thing, he's versatile. He can jump from one position to the other. And Luka's still coming into him. He still has a ways to go before I take the baby off of it. And to be honest, I might not ever take the baby off of it. Doesn't step up. This is so frustrating to me. It's one of the things where it's like, okay, especially this year, I think is why it pisses me off more, because it's like, this is the year when you shouldn't be having an all-star game at all. You promised us you weren't going to have an all-star game. And not only are you having one, but you're snubbing people. It's like, what's the point in this? Damon's a class act, though. He'll handle it just fine. But I think the fans are probably going to be a little bit more pissed off than he will. But like you said, they're in 4th place right now. 4th place. Everybody in first when he gets pissed off. So y'all up there, y'all fans could And I only voted for like 20 times. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not when you think about. I've seen other fans vote like every single day since the All-Star voting opened. I forgot, it's like, let me just go and do this. But some of these fans are obsessed, and it really, to me, needs to be, you get like 5 votes and that's it. This voting until your heart's desire is ridiculous, because that's why this happened.
Yeah, I think that that's a really good point. I don't think they should allow people to go in and vote as many times as they want, because, I mean, I don't know how bots and all of that kind of thing works, but if there is some, computer wizard out there and they really want to see Luka get that starting spot, maybe they've created a bot that can vote for them. And then there is just this weird, unfair, it's an imbalance, and it's not really even representative of what the people truly want. I see in here Jay, or I forget what we're supposed to call this guy. I forget, I'm sorry. But he said the percentage is weighed too heavily, 50% fans, 25% media, 25% players. It needs to be 50% players, 30% media, and 20% fans. I agree with that, although I think media and fans maybe could be switched. What do you think about that kind of layout?
Switching fans and media?
Yeah, and giving players 50%.
Oh, yeah, players, I've always said that. Players, they tend to be a little bit more respectful of one another. That's why during the All-Star games, you do get some of that tampering, because the players are watching these games. Dame himself has said he watches a lot of basketball. That's why he sometimes gets frustrated with these reporters that literally just look at the box score. I think most players are like Dame. They watch a lot of basketball. If it's on, they're going to watch it. They probably have games Whatever channel they need to get every single game, they probably watch. So they're going to be a little bit more honest in their voting, and they have mutual respect for guys that they think are really good. That's why we see them tweeting out when somebody does something good. It would be a little bit more fair if you gave. I would even probably give 60% to the players, because it's going to be a little bit more honest. Media is going to vote for their favorite person. Has nothing to do with the player. There might be some guy that just always gives them a really good soundbite. They're going to vote for their favorite person. So media should get the smallest percentage of the vote, and then players, most fans, and then media.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, just like when we're thinking about how the game is going to look and what's going to be fun to watch, I think Dame is going to be a more exciting player to watch based on exactly the things that you said. He has a faster style of play, and he is just a more interesting player. And I like Luka too. But it just sucks that it's come down to this sort of likability factor, this popularity contest, which so many things do in the NBA. So many of these awards or honors or whatever, they end up coming down to just who's more likable and who's more popular. I understand that the All-Star game is foreign, so, the voting should be by the fans, but this just feels kind of weird. I feel bad for Dame. I think he was snubbed. But Jackie, you said you don't think he cares as much as we maybe think he does. Why do you feel that way?
Because Dame, he knows the game. And unfortunately, and we've talked about this several times, when it comes down to stuff like this, it's not the fairest thing in the world. If it was 100% fair, then we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Dame would be in hands down, because you're still, like I said, you're talking about an athlete in Luka, who I love. I need to say that, but he's not there yet. There's a reason why there's a baby in front of that for me. And so I think he kind of understands that it's biased. And, for the fact that it came down to now, I will say this. If it came down to players voting, and then he found out he was edged out of this spot because the players voted for Luka, now he's pissed off, because he's like, what game are you watching, looking at? But the fact that he knows how fans are, and he knows how, petty they are, and they vote for their favorite more than anything else, I think he's just going to take it on the chin, and it's going to be whatever, because he knows how fickle fans can be. Fans burn jerseys, so he's probably not taking it, to heart too tough. I think if it was the players or even the media, who is supposed to be their job to watch these games and watch as players grow and develop, then he would have a deeper disdain for it. But I think he's just going to be like, it is what it is.
Interesting. Well, just for the sake of the game and because I like seeing pissed off Dame, I almost hope that he cares a little more than you think he will, because it's fun to see him get that extra fire under him. He has a very extreme stance to take, which is very weird. It's also important to note here that the Golden State Warriors are the number 8 seed in the Western Conference as of doing a good job. We've talked about that before. I feel like Charles Barkley is just missing the point here. I feel like he's not understanding that Draymond isn't saying that teams are not within their right to make a trade, but he was just saying that he wants players to receive that same kind of consideration or respect that organizations get when it comes to these types of transactions. And it's like, I just think that Charles Barkley missed the point. And I also think he just wanted to say something that would, inflame people, because that's what he does. So let's talk about this. Do you agree with Charles Barkley when he says that unless you're winning, you have no room to talk about this kind of thing?
Charles Barkley is an idiot, because Shaq clowns him all the time about the fact that he don't have no rings, but he still keep talking. So, and when he was playing, that's the thing. People get old and tired is what it is, because when he was playing, that man talked more crap about everything possible. He was one of those vocal players that you would say, why are you even talking? And this is what I call, this is the definition of willful ignorance, because he's skipping over the most important parts of what Draymond said. He didn't say anything about, not wanting to protect.
Count yourself in, Devin, after he says live. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
We're in.
Okay. So Jackie, the one thing that I wanted to ask you, Charles Barkley says that if you're going to be the type of player that expresses a strong opinion in the same way that Draymond Green did, you're looked at as annoying, you can be seen as the bad guy. I know we don't agree with Charles Barkley's entire sentiments here, but do you think that Draymond is setting himself up for that kind of reputation? You need to be careful because you're going to seem annoying. And it's like, no, if Draymond feels this way, he's just expressing something that a lot of other athletes feel in the NBA. How is that annoying? He has people in his corner who would stand by and support exactly what he said. So don't you feel that Charles Barkley is doing exactly what Draymond says needs to be changed and reformed in the NBA?
I think the funny thing is that I don't know too many people on the planet who are more annoying than Charles Barkley. So, and he still has a job. So the fact that he said that is funny to me because Draymond, yes, his play is declining now because he's in the, the latter years of his career, but he's still an asset, and that's going to outweigh everything. No one is going, like I said, I don't agree with Charles. I think that he's taking it. Charles has become a yes man. If y'all don't know anything about Charles Barkley, please do some research on him because this yes man thing that he's on, brand new. It's not who he was when he was playing in the league. So y'all saw The Last Dance. He's part of the Bad Boy Pistons. So I don't know this Charles Barkley or why he's so. Actually, I kind of do, giving the business that he in. I know he wants to smile and look pretty for the cameras as much as possible, and I think that he thinks Draymond should do that. But I think ultimately people are going to appreciate Draymond more than anything. I think that people kind of see Chuck for what he is, which he just talks. He talks with, my mom calls it, he talks out of the both sides of his mouth. He'll say one thing one day, like right now he's trying to appeal to the owners of the NBA. You let somebody like Mark Cuban say, oh, I agree 100% with Draymond, and that's why I try not to do X, Y, Z. Sometimes it's unavoidable because of this. But ultimately, if you want people to respect you, you have to offer the same respect. If Mark Cuban says something like this, Chuck is going to shuck to the other side and be like, oh, he's absolutely right. You should never. He's so shucking and jiving. I cannot stand that man. I could talk about that.
I love it. Yeah, we get tired of Charles Barkley here. There might be a moment or two where we'll say, okay, maybe he's right about that. Maybe I agree with him on that. But for the most part, Charles Barkley is always just spewing some sort of craziness, and it gives us something to talk about on the Fumble. But we rarely agree with him, and it seems like most of you in the chat, except for Bole, agree with us too. But on that note, we can wrap up Need to Know News. Jackie, can you take us into the post up?
Yes, let's get into the post up and let's try to avoid the shucking and jiving. It's Friday. No shucking and jiving Friday. So, look, this one we're going to take our time with because you guys know I have a love-hate. I say that every time. A love-hate relationship with Kyrie. I have been showing him a lot of love as of late. The love has not gone away. I want to emphasize that. The love I have for Kyrie is never going to go away. But we're going to show some of the hate right now because this man, absolutely, this is why I don't like Kyrie. Because Kyrie, y'all remember when he was with the Cavs, he had that whole last series that he didn't talk to anybody, not just LeBron James, but he didn't talk to anybody for whatever reason. We still don't know. He has taken an absorbent amount of time off for an undisclosed reason. He's been silent at points with his team. Now he says, oh, I'm not going to talk to media. Then he goes out and talks to media, and then he gets right back in the game, and we see him, the way he's communicating with his team. And then he gets on a live with KD and says, oh, I think I should take the majority of the shots. He's not always in my favor. If you don't know, if you didn't see the game last night, you didn't miss much because it was tragic, especially if you're a Laker fan. We can get into that. I know y'all probably have something to say in the chat. But LeBron James was making a free throw, a technical free throw, and he missed it. And I don't know if you can hear it, so take a listen. I'm going to show you the video. See if you can hear what Kyrie said.
Along with Harrell, James, Kuzma all on the floor for the Lakers. Irving, the only starter on the floor right now for the Nets, with the illegal D through defensive 3-second, and so we will have Lawaru Cabarro, DeAndre Jordan, Tyler Johnson, Dylan Horton.
So if you can't tell what he said, the person who posted that video actually wrote it out for you in the tweet, so I'm going to show you that as well. But he basically said, this is your best free throw shooter. LeBron has been consistently getting better in his free throws. He's never been that great at it. This year he is about 70%. I think it's 70.3% in his free throws. But LeBron James fired right back at him. He says, you always got something to say when you have something to say. And I love that LeBron said that, because basically when you was on the Cavs and I was trying to help you, little convoluted, crazy mindness, you just sat over there like a 3-year-old kid and pouted. And then all of a sudden you didn't want to tell your teammates in Brooklyn what was going on with you. You just wanted to disappear for an undisclosed amount of time. And then you wanted to, when you did that one boat tour, you want to hop on that and then not invite black women. And I've been there for you. I've been trying to help you, try to get your mental right, including Jackie Ray. But you're going to go out here and say something disrespectful like this. And this is why I can't wish you well. I don't wish you ill, but I don't wish them Brooklyn Nets well, because this is the kind of stuff, Kyrie. This right here is why we can't root for you all the time. So, Devin, I know I get on my little rant sometimes, but this has irked my nerves. How did you feel hearing Kyrie say this?
I thought it was frustrating too. I heard this and I was like, stop it. Like, this is so irritating, because I think, yes, we can all acknowledge that when it comes to free throws, LeBron is not the best one on the team. And so, no, that's not our best free throw shooter. AD was out. Dennis Schroeder was out. So, yeah, we had to work with a limited roster, and LeBron stepped up to the free throw line and he did what he could do. But to sit there and, like, I don't know, I did not appreciate this say more moment or this talking shit moment.
And then when LeBron said what he said, then all of a sudden you was all cool, like, oh, is this your best free throw shooter? And you was cool looking around to see if anybody was paying attention to you. But then when LeBron responded back, then you got this hurry up run back to your side. Boy, if you don't stop playing these games with me.
Want to talk smack, say it to his face. Don't turn around and
I'm not giving you this pass. I'm gonna try to tread lightly when you have these mental issues the next time, because I'm all about mental health. But you gonna one more time and you might end up concussed. So stop playing games. But let's get to this next one. Just going from somebody who works my last damn nerves to somebody that I have loved from day one, even when y'all was hating. When y'all called him toxic. So it has multiple career triple doubles, and it's on the bottom. I don't know if you can make that bigger, Leo, but on the bottom it has like how many games it took them to get to the triple doubles. But look at that. King James still has the most triple doubles for the Miami Heat with 9. Jimmy Butler is second at 6. Dwayne Wade is at 5. And then Jimmy Butler uses this and he goes, Dwayne Wade this and Dwayne Wade that. What's next? Because he basically saying, you know, like, look at me. I'm out here and I got it in less games. Look at the games that Jimmy Butler got his triple-double in. 6. Well, no, 74 games. It took him 74 games to get that many triple-doubles. And I don't know how many it took Dwayne Wade, but it took a lot. But Dwayne Wade responded to this, and he basically said, all right, you got next, like Kyrie did. But let's remember having an offense. Club owners have responded. Let's take a look at a couple of these. So look at all that. This is so much. Party after party after party. It's just so much. It's too much. It's I forget who's coming. I think what's the guy that shot old girl in the foot? This Megan Thee Stallion. What's the guy that's in the foot?
I can't remember who that one was.
I can't forget his name, but thank you. Look, we got the voice from Leo, aka God has spoken. Trey Songz. He at one of them parties, and I'm like, yo, this is so much. Why are there so many parties?
It's Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez.
God got it wrong.
Thank you, Arthur, our producer. She corrected us. It's not Trey Songz. T names get mixed up, and no.
Man, and then she said we can't be dragging the wrong person. She right, my bad. I specifically said I couldn't remember who it was. I did say so. Tory Lanez out here. He's in one of these parties, and Twitter is annoyed by this. Let me get up these last 2 tweets really quick and show you that how Twitter is annoyed by this. So this one says, these promoters in Atlanta are like F what the mayor said. Adam Silver and the NBA is talking about they getting these parties off. I don't understand why you would even want to put yourself at risk like this. I think I have one more Twitter user who said something that I totally agree with. Maybe I didn't stick that in there. But nonetheless, yes, these are the ones. The range of celebrities, there's a lot of celebrity people that are coming out. This is dangerous in Atlanta right now. And then one of these clubs was supposed to be closed, but now they reopened for this thing. Devin, make it make sense. Make it make sense. I don't care. Even if Keisha didn't say, hey, can you please stay closed? Even if she hadn't said that. Let's say you're a business owner in Atlanta and you know all these people are coming. What is your move?
I would for sure not be hosting one of these parties. Well, first of all, what I'm trying to wrap my mind around is the fact that the NBA has said that athletes are going to be largely staying inside their hotels. If they leave and go to a party, they're probably not going to be able to participate in any of the All-Star events. So what's the point in holding all of these All-Star weekend, All-Star game, parties at clubs and flying in and all this stuff when you're not even going to have the opportunity to hang out with anybody? I feel like you go to where the All-Star game is being held so you can have the chance of sitting at a table with LeBron or getting a selfie with whoever. You're not going to get that chance. What is the point? I certainly will not be going to one of these events. I think it seems like a waste of money and also a huge risk for COVID.
Yeah, and I have friends that live in Atlanta, and one of them hit me up this morning and was like, yo, you coming to Atlanta for all... Boy, no, I am not. Why? What? No, crazy. I don't know, but y'all have fun out there. And if you go to Atlanta and you come back to LA, just know I don't want to talk to you for at least 14 days. So that's that. Let's move on to this next one, because this next one, when I first saw this, I was a little confused because I was like, how is it possible that you can't see a trainer? So take a look at this tweet from Chris, and he's saying that he was like, just seen our assistant trainer face for the first time all season, didn't know who the hell he was. And I'm like, how is that possible? Chris Paul, explain yourself. Then I'm like, oh, wait, no, pandemic. That's true. Because it's not like you're doing your training via Zoom or something like that. So your trainer probably has his mask on the whole time. Twitter had some pretty funny responses to this one. One user was like, bro, looking at the coach like, I love that one because that's so true. I didn't even think of that. Devin, are you surprised by this?
You know what's so funny, Jackie, is I had the same reaction as you when I first read this tweet. I looked at it and I was like, is he saying he hasn't been training? Like, what's going on? How did he not know who his trainer was? But then I realized it's the masks. And yes, I have been in situations where I'm at the same restaurant, like we're walking on the street as somebody that I know, but because we're all wearing masks and maybe they have a hoodie on or whatever, I don't even recognize them. And people say eyes are windows to the soul, but when you have nothing else to go off of on the face, it can be hard to figure out who a person is or what they look like.
Yeah, the soul is massive. I need to see a little bit more than just your eyes. So I first saw that and I was like, that is so true. Because there's establishments that I go into often to pick up food or something, and I know the person at the front counter by name, but if I ever see them out and about, I am not going to have a clue. So good call there, Chris Paul. Appreciate that. That was awesome. Okay, so look, let's move on to a guy that I quickly think is becoming a really one of my favorites. He hasn't been, but it's not anything personal. It's just I haven't, he's been injured for a long time. But he is really a good guy. He's showing himself as a good guy. He started out on this rocky road in Houston with the James Harden thing, and then the shade from James Harden and all that. I've always said that I think you can really tell how much a player is invested in the team by how he invests in that city. If he tries to grow roots there, if he's building businesses there, things of that nature, you can always tell. This is far and above that, because you're doing more than trying to build. You're actually trying to impact people's lives. And y'all know what's going on down in Texas right now. And John Wall is out here trying to help. So Bleacher first reported this. They said John Wall helped provide 500 meals to families affected by the winter storm in Houston. This is so important to people like me who I don't watch a lot of. I watch political news, but other than that, I'm in my sports and political bubble, really. And so when I see stuff like this, then it dawns on me like, oh, yeah, they did say a winter storm front was coming through. I don't think I really understood how bad it was until John Wall did this. And then on his Instagram story, he posted this. He said, Houston, I'm looking to feed the families at Mattress Max Gallery Furniture at 6006 North Freeway, but I need help finding restaurants in the area that can accommodate. Any restaurants able to help me feed 300 to 500 families? And then he posted this one coming up next that says, Houston, thank you for all your suggestions. We were able to provide 500 meals to families at the Matrix Max Gallery. Many thanks to Brittany and her staff at Whataburger for helping us out tonight. That's in such short notice. That is amazing. That actually prompted me to go and see the storms that are happening in Texas, and it is insane because that's not something I immediately think of when I think of Texas is like a snowstorm like this. And for him to just have this idea to let's go to this, we need a furniture place so we can accommodate these people. This is so dope. I am so proud of John Wall. Devin, what do you think about this? Is this just not something really kind of heartwarming?
Oh, I love this. And I feel like John Wall deserves major recognition for this. I always feel like when you are the type of person that you've reached this privileged point in your life where you're making millions, it's so important to give back. And I don't think that every generous thing or every charitable thing necessarily needs to be public information, but John Wall needed help figuring out where he could find food to feed these families. And I know I have friends in Texas right now who are really struggling and they are freezing in their homes. So knowing that John Wall went out and did this is really great. He's a good guy, definitely earned my respect. He had it before, but he earned even more.
Yeah, like I said, to do something like that in the city, you just got to. I think this is amazing. JD, I see you in the chat. You're right. Dak Prescott did something similar, which I think is completely amazing considering what he's going through contractually over there in Dallas right now. He put all that to the side and he was like, it has nothing to do with me. It's about the people. So shouts out to John Wall and Dak Prescott for sure. But we talked about Dame earlier and the snub that he get. And like I said, I think we all know that he's definitely supposed to be in that last spot over Luka. Luka, I still love you, but let's just be honest. He's just a really likable guy. So you guys know, outside of LeBron James, for me, it's like Russell Westbrook is my guy. He's the one that I advocate for the most because I love him so much. That being said, I would have never done this to Dame, probably because I also like and respect Dame as well. But he started this thing on his Twitter that started pretty innocently and said, let's have this ask me some questions time here on Twitter. Let's ask me some questions. And then the troll, you guys, let me show you how this got started. So it's pretty innocent, like, what up, Dame Jr.? Shoot y'all question. And then this guy says, Westbrook is better than you. Okay. Dame's like, I'm going to ignore you. And then, so this guy asks, he goes, no hating, but I see you be extra social on social media when you have a big game, but I probably would too if I were you. And he goes, I'm social when I'm available to be, not because, stuff goes well, bad assessment. And then here come the troll. Westbrook is better than you. And then this guy asked him, hey, is MVP something you're gunning for this year? And then Dame says, I don't have the right to speak on this topic, they said. And then here come the troll again. Do you think Westbrook is better than you? Oh, my guy. This is ridiculous.
Thanks for showing us that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say thanks for showing us that you have way too much time on your hands to go into every tweet and respond that. Congratulations, right. You have no life.
Who? And I make time, but not that kind of time where I just sit for and wait for somebody to ask a question, Dame respond, and Westbrook's better than you. You need, unless you're in Texas, which maybe he's in Texas and he's stuck at home, he has no time. But if you're anywhere else in the United States, you need to get outside and get some exercise because this is ridiculous. This next one though is the best troll backfire of all time. This is another one that immediately had me confused because I was like, I know I don't watch hockey all the time, but I'm not that geographically challenged that I don't know Anaheim is in California. So the Anaheim Ducks posted this to their Twitter, which basically says, big if true. And it's from the Anaheim Ducks and it says, free beer. I'm like, wait, what? Free beer for who? How are you going to get the fans this free beer? This is crazy to me. So then I had to look in. I had to zoom in because, sometimes I'm like y'all and I'm just a title reader. But hold on. Can we go back to that other one really quick, Leo? because you have to really go in, and you probably can't see, but it says free beer for all fans that are present tonight only. So they was trolling the fans and basically saying, if you are in the stadium tonight, you can have free beer. That is so extra petty, but it backfired because now we can take a look at this next one. They trolled us about free beer and then began sucking it against the Wild. What the quack ducks? Did you drink all the free beer yourselves? This duck is, and then he gave the poop emoji. I love this because the Ducks ended up losing 3-1. Y'all, this is what happens when you troll unnecessarily. This is the best backfire I have seen in a while. Ha ha, that is what you get. I was so here for that one. All right, you guys ready for some cute kids? I know Britt is not here. She's on vacation, for y'all who keep asking, and we keep telling y'all she's on vacation. She's still on vacation. So I can't really appeal to her baby fever, but let's see if I can work it up in Devin a little bit. So take a look at Ja Morant's little one, who definitely is becoming a Fumble favorite.
First this season had 2 in his rookie campaign. Morant's 3 triple-doubles are...
She is such a daddy's girl. It is so adorable. She's trying to mimic him on every front. Devin, did that do anything for your baby fever? I don't know you to have baby fever, but did you get it a little?
What, Jackie? I definitely have baby fever, and yes, this did it for me, especially now that my sister has a newborn baby. Ooh, the baby fever is running high.
She even hit that high note on the high. Well, if I have a child, just know that my child is going to be very similar to Gabby Union's baby, because Gabrielle Union Wade's baby. I got to say her name right. But here's a funny thing. If you guys don't know anything about Gabrielle Union, take some time and go just Google and research her, because in Hollywood, for the longest time, she was kind of known as that polite, rude, and polite, petty, and polite, shady girl, because she used to just like these extra little jabs unnecessarily. So she's different now because she's happy now. I don't think she was necessarily as happy then as she is now. But I have come to believe personally that petty is genetic, because I want you to see how her little girl tells her no. It's definitely petty, and it's definitely something Gabby would have done back in the day. So take a look.
Got some peanut butter. Peanut butter on the cracker.
Yeah,
Peanut butter on the cracker. That's what you want.
it's yummy.
It's yummy.
Wow. What's that?
What's that?
Thank you. Thank you. Yummy.
That's how you do it. Like,
Can you need some water?
Yeah.
I can't have one.
No one.
Yeah, I can have one.
No.
Got some peanut butter. Peanut butter.
That is no. That is so Gabrielle Union. I don't even know. That would happen to me for sure, and I would be here for every single piece of it. That was adorable. What do you think of that one, Devin?
So adorable. Little savage baby. I love it. No.
My opinion. And she said it like so matter of fact, like, don't reach your hand over here. What are you doing? That is all I got for the post up. Let's jump into what we not going to do. This one's actually quick, so I need you guys to go ahead and let me know your thoughts on this, because this is a bold-faced, habitual lie, and I am so not here for it. So let's think back to January 27th. We all remember that when LeBron James was called for that flagrant foul. I personally said that it was a flop. It was a flop that backfired on Joel Embiid, because he was like, there's a whole compilation. I meant to put that together, but I forgot, to be honest. I meant to put together a whole compilation of Joel's flops. It was just so many videos, and I just didn't have time to put all that together either. But you guys went out here and y'all called Enes Kanter soft for leaving the game with blood flowing into his eye. But y'all are buying that Joel Embiid wasn't completely flopping and being a softie when he faked that fall against LeBron James. Now, we're going to fast forward And now he's saying that this is because of LeBron. He's having additional back issues now because of LeBron. So after speaking to Joel Embiid, do I not have it? Did I not stick it in there? Maybe I didn't. But he said, Joel Embiid said, I'm having back pains now, additional back pains from the fall that I had in that game. That game was January 27th. That was when that game was. But then I go and I find a tweet from Adrian Woj that says, "Oh, Joel Embiid has been out 4 to 6 games for back injuries." Anyone care to venture a guess as to when that tweet came out? That tweet came out December 20th, an entire month before Joel Embiid got that hard foul from LeBron James. December 20th. And in that tweet, Woj just said that not only had he missed 4 games, but he probably was going to miss an additional 2 for back injuries. So now all of a sudden we're here with this space and time after you done flopped, you took that foul too hard and you flopped, and now you're trying to blame it on LeBron James. I had a bunch of tweets from that, but maybe I didn't throw them in the box. Leo, did I throw any of those tweets in the box? I might have forgotten to do that. But a lot of people came for Joel Embiid. They said that he always likes to flop, and this was a flop gone wrong. And I totally agree with that. He flopped sloppily, and then he ended up falling, and then that's what happened. Another person said that he cheats all the time, and he gets away with flopping. And there was that time, I don't know if you guys remember that time when LeBron and Kyle Kuzma? I think it was LeBron and Kyle Kuzma were warned by the league and said, hey, if you guys continue to flop, you're going to be fined and stuff. And then people, that's all you saw back to back on that post. People were like, well, I have never seen Joel be warned like that, because he flops so extra. And I just don't like the fact that he is blaming this on LeBron James, but I don't know his motive. At least if it was Kyrie who told this bold-faced lie, I could be like, okay, well, you clearly have some animosity in your heart, and that's been building for a while. That's been building at least since 2016. And he just lives in your head rent-free. Joel Embiid really admires LeBron James, and in 2018, he even tried to recruit him to Philly. Thank God that didn't work, but he tried to recruit him to Philly. So there's definitely some mutual respect between Joel Embiid and LeBron James, so I'm not entirely sure what his motive would be to tell this lie when we all can just go back, not even that far. We can go back a month and see that you had this back injury already. And then he follows it up with, but, it's not that bad. It's definitely worse because of LeBron, but it's not that bad. What's the motive here? That's my question. I'm going to go to Devin. I'm going to ask you that. What is Joel's motive? Because you're clearly lying. Let's just not mix words. He's clearly lying. What's the motive?
I wish I could tell you what the motive is. I feel like maybe it's to gain sympathy points, and it's to kind of like, I don't know, that seems weird to do to me, but I can't really figure it out either, because you're absolutely right. Those back issues have been persisting for a long time before that foul was even called on LeBron. I don't know. I think that perhaps he's just getting his timeline mixed up or something, and since falling on his back like that exacerbated whatever issues he was having, maybe he's thinking like, oh yeah, well, it's because of LeBron, it's because of what LeBron did, but like, he should know that it's been a long time that he's been complaining about this. So I don't know, it's weird, and I think it's annoying, and you can't be lying like that when there are headlines and interviews and everything where you're talking about this happening long before you ever fell at the hands of LeBron. So I think it's silly.
Yeah, and like I said, you can go back. I mean, you don't even have to go back to December 20th. You can go back to December 1st and see when Philly was talking about Joel and his back issues. And so all of a sudden, you trying to say this January 27th is the issue? Joel, what we're not going to do is tell these bold-faced lies on King James. We're not going to do that. Mama Machine, you write in the chat. He says, and people say LeBron flops, give me a break. Embiid flops all the time. He does, because when I was trying to put together that compilation video of Joel Embiid's flops, it was too much. It starts at 2018, and then it just goes the entire time. And I'm like, I cannot splice all these together. This is too much. This is too much research. Why are you out here flopping like this? What we're not going to do is do these flops and then blame them on LeBron James, Joel. I just do better. But that's all I got for what we not gonna do.
I do. Before we wrap up, which we're going to wrap up in just a second, Swalian said maybe he's not lying. He fell straight on his back, guys. And yes, I just want to say we acknowledge that that fall onto his back, the impact on the hardwood was probably a lot. It probably made the issues that he had much worse. But he's been complaining about back issues since December, so you can't say that you're experiencing back pain now because of that specific instance, because it happened long before. There were problems long before. So that's all we're saying, Swalian. We acknowledge that it maybe got worse because of that fall.
And just for clarity, yes, I'm not saying that he did not fall hard. I'm not saying that at all, because we all saw that fall and we were like, ooh, that fall was not a result of LeBron James. That fall was a result of Joel Embiid deciding to try to flop, and then it went wrong, and then he smacked down on the pavement. Like, that's what happened. We not gonna put that on LeBron. That's not what we gonna do. Let's be clear. It was not LeBron's fault.
So there you have it, you guys. We're going to wrap up our show now. We hope you have the best weekend ever. You can tune into the Weekend Zone tomorrow. It's going to be me and Jackie again. And then we'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another live show. So tap the bell for notifications so you know exactly when we're going live. Subscribe, leave a comment below, give this video a thumbs up, wash your hands, wear a mask, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.